Hey everybody, welcome to my video today and welcome back to 12 weeks of Christmas. I missed last week and so we're catching up this week. So you will see a post for today, which will be week 10, and then you will see week 11 on Thursday, and then next week will be the final week of 12 weeks of Christmas. And I have some really fun projects left. Some of these last ones are some of the harder ones for sure, but definitely some of the funner ones. So I wanted to get this one out to you guys this week. I know we're getting really close to Christmas and you guys are wrapping up those Christmas gifts. And so what better way to add a fun project to your wrapped gift than a handmade tag? So I definitely am using quite a bit of product today. So the first one we're going to use is this sweater stamp set. I don't think that this has gotten enough use this year. I just ran out of time to use all of this amazing product. So we're going to be using this and we're going to be doing a little bit of embossing. So it's going to be a little bit time intensive, but it'll turn out really nice. The other two we're going to be using are these two, so Christmas in the Making, and we're going to be using this, It's the Best Time of the Year, and then we're using our Merry Cafe stamp set just for a couple of the little items. I'm going to be using the holly and the holly berries. So all of these items are retiring and will not be carrying over to the new catalog. So if you're wanting any of these items, you're going to want to pick them up right away because they are going away. So let me show you what our project is for today. It is this cute box and there's going to be a tag on here. We're going to be doing some stamping and it's going to go right here. And then you open this box up and you're going to find some beautiful, this looks like baker's twine, but a tip that I have for you guys is to use embroidery thread. So you can find these pretty inexpensive in a lot of places. There is a nice pack of this on Amazon. I'll link it on my website. It comes in a big pack and you get lots of different colors. And you can see that these colors match our colors for today. The old olive, and this is like a cherry cobbler color. For my inks today, I'm going to be using Real Red and Pear Pizzazz, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But you have this and it's wrapped around one of these really fun old-fashioned clothespins that I love. They come in handy for different things. And then we're going to make a set of tags using the sweater stamp set. So let me show you guys. Let's get started. And we'll dive into the stamping. So the first thing is that all of the measurements for this are going to be on the PDF and there'll be photos, okay? So my cardstock here got a little bit bent and where it was stored before I did this video. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start out with some basic black cardstock and then some old olive cardstock, okay? So the measurements for both of these pieces are going to be on my PDF. In order to get the PDF, you just need to sign up for my email. There's a link down below. If you're already signed up for the email, on Thursday, both PDFs for today and Thursday will come out. There is a place on my website where I have all of the information updated, all of the PDFs linked. So if you sign up now and you want to get past weeks for the PDFs, there's a way to do that. I will help you through that. So once you make your cuts, okay, when you get your PDF and you see where you need to make your cuts and you need to make your scores, then what you're going to do is I would really suggest using tear tape. So you can see that there's tear tape on here. And this is going to come together. Again, mine got really warped where I was storing it. But what you do is you just bring it together and that score tape is really going to hold this together. So you cut it, you score it, you use your tear tape, and that's going to hold this together, okay? So there's that piece. That's the bottom piece. And then here is the top piece, and it's the same thing. You'll cut it, you'll score it, you'll use tear tape, and you'll bring those together for the lid. Just put a little bit of tape. I often use packing tape, and just put it around the edges, and it will hold it a little bit better. So then there's a piece of designer paper on top and then the ribbon that wraps around and some of the embroidery thread, okay? So inside, let's get started with the tag that's gonna go on top here. So I'm gonna use the Best Time of the Year. We're gonna stamp that in red. I'm gonna put that down a little bit farther, but that's okay. And then we'll use green and I'll still need red. So what we're gonna do is use the Merry Cafe stamp that has this holly in it, the holly leaves. And then the holly berries in red. I really encourage you guys to look through all the stamps that you have, because there's those little pieces that oftentimes will work on other projects, and sometimes we don't think to look for it, you know, through the rest of our stamps. We just get one stamp set out and then we're just using that one. So there's some holly leaves. They're not lined up perfectly, but that adds a little something to your tag. This tag was just cut down. Again, measurements will be on my PDF. And then I've just used my tag topper. So that's one of my favorite punches that we have, is just this tag topper. It just slides right in here. You flip it over and then you punch that and you're gonna get a really cute tag top, and you don't have to punch the hole or anything. It's gonna look really beautiful. So that's gonna go right on top of your box like that. So now let's dive into these tags that you can use on Christmas gifts. These are a couple packages of tags that I actually found at Joann's in the dollar section. I picked them up because I thought they were so cute. They're just on craft cardstock, and you get 30, I believe, is what comes in this pack. So it was $1.99 and there's 30 of them. So that's a really good value, and then you don't have to cut anything or put any holes into anything. If you don't have a Joann's near you, or you can't find these particular ones, you can take craft cardstock and cut down your craft cardstock and then just cut. You could use the tag topper if you wanted, and that would match the outside of your box, or you can just trim it down. I just made some tags like this in a larger form for my December daily album. So these are really easy to make because they're just little slits off the end, and then use a hole punch to add that hole, because we're going to put ribbon in it. But this was a really great find. I like finding stuff like that. You can find things at the dollar store, at the Michael's in the dollar spot, or $3 spot at Joann's. Lots of times these come in handy. So we're going to use these, and what I'm going to do is use my Misty to show you guys how I did this. So I included 8 tags in the gift box. So in order to make it really easy, what I did is I laid these tags out. And I drew around the tag. I could put the next set of tags in the same spot. And it's okay if these are tucked underneath each other, because the sweater is going to go right in the middle of the tag. Okay, so now that I have my tags in here, what I can do is grab my stamp set and then pick out the sweaters I want, just like that. So I just lay them down there. Then we can use the Misty to pick these up, and then we're going to emboss on these. So you just, I'm sorry about my lights here, guys. So what you do is then you just pick that up. On this side where our tags are, we're going to use a little embossing buddy. Then we will use Versamark. And then this is going to make it super easy to mass produce your tags. If you don't have a Misty, you don't have to use a Misty for this. The only reason that I'm using a Misty is if I want to produce a lot of these tags, then it's going to be really easy to just keep these in place, pull the tags out, and then put more tags down, and then emboss those. So it's going to make the mass producing part of this easier, okay? So let's set the Misty aside, because I can show you guys how these are going to work. Okay, so I'm using my little snappy tray. This is just something I found on Amazon, and it's what I use when I'm embossing. So what we'll do is, I think actually it'll be really easy, since these tags are pretty small, to just do it right in the actual container. But the snappy tray comes in handy if you're doing something a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think this is going to work. So we'll just do all of these tags. your tags. Now you could color these if you wanted, or you can just leave them. And on a few of the tags that I did, what I did is I made the sweater kind of wonky so that it just added a little bit of character to the tag, and then you can do your to and your from. You don't have to stamp to and from if you don't want. There's lots of stamps that we have that have the to and the from. And here's one that has to on the front and then from on the back. You can get really creative and do it however you want. And then all you can want to do next is just add a little bit of ribbon to the top of these. And one of the things that I did with these tags is about a month ago, I gave some Becky Higgins stone wrap to all the Pep Club moms that I work with and do stuff with, and I just wrapped one of these tags right around the stone wrap, and it was perfect. I didn't do anything else. And craft will go with just about any wrapping paper you have, which is nice. So what I'm doing is just adding this ribbon, and I'm threading through so there's a little loop. I know sometimes it's hard to figure out how to do the different ribbon. So for this, you're just going to want to make sure you leave your ribbon pretty long, because you're going to add it into the loop. So it goes in like this, and you have a little loop, and then you will tuck the end part through the loop and bring it back through. Just wiggle it a little bit. Now this is paper, so don't rip it really hard to tighten this ribbon, because it will rip the paper. But just wiggle it a little bit and tighten that up, and then you can separate the two pieces like this. This is our black shimmery ribbon, which really looks amazing in person. Okay, so then I just add a little slight end to the ribbon, and then you have these. So then inside your box, what you can do is lay your tags out just like this. So down below, you'll find a supply list for everything that I used. You will find the link to sign up for my email to get the PDFs. And then over on my website, you will find photos of this project that you can go and look at and see. I hope you guys have enjoyed the 12 weeks of Christmas. We're almost finished, and I've loved doing it. And Chris and I are talking about doing a little mini series for celebrations, which is coming up next month. So that might be fun. We are chatting and putting together some details. You guys have seemed to love this, so we would love to put something else together for you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will be back on Thursday with another 12 weeks of Christmas. Thanks so much, guys.